Hi there. You know, when I was growing up, and this might be true for you, here in North America, there was the PBS, the Public Broadcasting System, and I remember with great delight some shows such as Zoom and the Electric Company with Morgan Freeman on there. Of course, the Cosmos with Carl Sagan, and who can forget Mr. Rogers being on PBS. But not just that, there was a whole bunch of incredible educational shows that came on PBS, and I think it still happens today. Although I don't have cable TV, and I don't know if it's where it's still broadcasting. But anyhow, PBS was a huge part of my childhood, and some real grace and education and truth in my life, you could say. It was sort of maybe the early teachings of how to practice my being alive. And so now I find myself in a new place of practice, and maybe you do too, where meditation and consciousness and thoughtfulness and truth and love and peace are practices that I'm looking to unfold. And if you're like me, there's probably moments in your life where things don't quite go the way you want them, where they're not looking exactly as you would like to see them. And we might get elevated, and we might feel that tension building, and we might even call it anxiety and feeling anxious in the moment. And so one of the things that occurred to me one day is that through all of these teachings, they're all coming back to one thing, being present, taking a moment, taking a breath even, and allowing ourselves to settle into that moment. And so in the honor of PBS, I'd like to share with you a practice that has become near and dear to me, and that is the pause, breathe, and soften moment. The PBS, this idea of that when you exhale, you stop trying to make life bend to your will, and then something softens. Right? We can stop trying and take a moment. And so it's a really simple practice. It's, first of all, we need to notice. Right? We need to notice what's happening in the moment. And then we just take that moment and we shift it slightly. And we remember that we can pause. Right? We can take a pause and we can breathe. And as we exhale, we can soften into the moment. And that's it. That's the whole practice. Anytime, anywhere, we can PBS. We can pause. We can breathe. We can soften. Namaste.